My Masters, Diane McKendrick here today to talk to you about soul contracts. Too many of you were coming to me with the same challenge, with the same issue, and I listen and I watch and I thought, you know what? I've got to do this. I've got to create this masterclass and I've got to get this information to the people. I'm really excited about this one because it's really bringing in and really blending in the science and the spirituality. So this masterclass is about soul contracts and how they affect your relationships and affect your life. My purpose and intention for this is to help you really look through your life and scan through your life with a fine-tooth comb and start to choose the relationships that you're calling in, as opposed just to reacting to the ones that have been given to you. A lot of us are on autopilot. And because our mum's our mum, or our dad's our dad, or our brother and sisters, and we've grown up with them, we keep hanging out with them. And sometimes it's not the best thing for us. Or the other thing I've heard a lot from a lot of you guys is that there's a past relationship, like an ex-partner, that just doesn't seem to be able to remove from your field and get it out of your vortex. So I'm going to give you all the tools, systems, strategies, meditations, and everything. I'm blending it all together in this masterclass so you can go through and you can choose who you want to spend your time with and how you want to live your life. So by the end of this masterclass, you will. Number one, understand what a soul contract is and the role that it plays in your life. Like, what is it and why is it there? Number two, you will be able to identify any soul contracts in your current life right now and how they're affecting you. Are they serving you, or is it sort of outdated and it's just rolling on because the pattern continues to roll forward? Number three, we will confirm, like I just said, if it's relevant in your life now. Is this something that you actually need and it's a lesson and you're growing from, or has it got you stuck and it's holding you stagnant and you're unable to move forward because we haven't had the awareness or the know-how how to clear it, how to sever it, how to create this space between it. And number four, you are going to be able to release, sever any outdated, irrelevant, or dormant contracts which are bringing you or binding you and holding you stuck in life. So what I want to do is give an example here, and the example is that person that comes into your life, and sometimes it's, like I said, a parent, a partner, a sibling, and they come into your life and they're in there for a certain period of time. And then the friendship or the partnership ends and they go their way and you go your way, but for some reason, whether you've got children together or something, just keeps bringing you back together. And even if you're not physically seeing each other, there's this charge, there's this feeling, there's this pulling together of souls where you still feel like you need to check with them, or you can't get them out of your mind, or you can't stop thinking about them. So these are the things that we're really going to put a scanner over the top of and go, is this serving me, and why do I keep thinking of it? Where am I holding this in my body? So the intention here is to bring the worlds of science and spirituality together and really look at this strategy that we can use and blend the two together. So you, through this masterclass, obviously this is the introduction, but you're also going to get spreadsheets and you're going to get soul work. What a lot of coaches do is only do one or the other. They're really focused on science, 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 strategy, 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 or over here on the other end of the pendulum, like really spiritual. And sometimes it's not realistic. We're in human bodies living on a human earth. So for me, it's about bringing both of the parts together and all of the parts together to make it really wholesome, and choose your path, because you are a human, you are in this body, and you get to choose it. You've got a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And as a lot of you know, I work deeply with the conscious and the subconscious and rewiring it to get you different things in life. So why don't we use it and blend it all together and make it even more powerful? So basically, what is it? What is a soul contract? If you've never heard of it before, it's basically an agreement between two people that has started and commenced either in this lifetime or a past life. Often, my belief is it comes from a past life. Like before you came down here onto this earth, we are souls, and our soul was somewhere else doing something else. And I believe that we meet people and we've got lessons to learn through the course of our journey in life. We've got these lessons to learn. And if you didn't learn it in the last life, you're going to come back here and you're going to be in places, environments, you're going to meet people, certain situations that are going to teach you the lessons that you didn't learn in the last life. I also believe prior to coming here on this earth in this human body that you choose your human suit depending on what was happening for you in previous lifetimes. You choose how you show up, whether you've got body ailments, the size of your body, the type of your body. I believe that we choose that. I believe that you choose your parents. I believe that everybody you meet in your life has some form of contract or some form of connection bringing us together. Nothing is a coincidence. I believe in synchronicity, and that everything is perfectly and divinely guided, even when it doesn't feel like that, even when it feels icky, even when it feels hard. But what that belief has been able to do for me is give me this higher perspective, really zoom out on life and not get caught up in the little stuff. So I want to teach you how to do the same. And part of doing that is understanding this concept of soul contracts. So I'll do the best I can in delivering it here today. I'll make it as short and sharp as I can. And take you through a couple of the processes, a bit of the intro, and then through the next classes you can get the spreadsheets and the meditations and things. So basically it's an agreement between two people, this lifetime or past, which binds your souls together. So even though you might not be together in person, you are bound together energetically. It's like this cord between the two of you. And sometimes you'll break up with the person or you'll move on from the relationship, but the cord is still attached because the deep soul work hasn't been done. So that's what we're here to do today. Now there's two types of soul contracts. Actually, there's a fair few, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna focus on two. The first one, the soul contract or the cord or the attachment or the connection, is based on love, light, and growth. So if you've got a connection with somebody that is based on love, light, and growth, it will cultivate feelings of things like self-worth, feeling confident, and feeling really secure and supported. So that for me is my preference. I would rather feel that most of the time. However, as with everything, we've got the flip side. So the flip side of that, and the second type of soul contract or connection or cord or relationship that you could have with somebody, is the ego, the lack. It's based on ego. It's based on lack. It's based on proving yourself all the time or proving that the other person is wrong. And it's very competitive and it's very cutthroat and it feels different. Like even when I talk about it, you see that I change. It feels really different. So then that type, the ego, lack, proving, competition, that cultivates the feelings of blame and guilt and toxic shame. So think about that for a moment. Two types, one based on love, light, and growth, which cultivates the feelings of self-worth, confidence, and security. And then the other one, which generally becomes the problem, is ego, lack, proving, competition, and it cultivates the feelings of blame, guilt, and shame. And you guys are not a stranger to those feelings. I know it. No matter how evolved, no matter how developed you are, no matter how switched on, these feelings that we try to push aside and suppress of blame, guilt, toxic shame, they're there for a reason. And this is a really important part of the process. So the reason for both of these types, or for these soul contracts, whether they're perceived love and light or ego and lack, is for your soul growth. The reason that we have these things is for your soul growth and your understanding, to learn the lessons that you didn't learn in the past life, and then you come back to learn here this time. So recapping that, there's two types, the love and the light, and then the ego and the darkness. And what I want you to do now is have a little think, because you've probably got someone in mind. And when we're talking about this, it's not usually the love and the light and the fluffy and the joyful relationships we're thinking about. We're thinking about the heavy ones, the hard ones, the people that keep coming back into our life and like put a cord into us and then suck the life out of us. And in these human suits, it's dense. Like our human existence is very dense. We tend to want to drag things out for a really long time. So instead of learning the lesson and moving on and carrying on, when you bring your brain into it, what's actually happening is some of you have learnt the lesson, you've already learnt it, but because of the way the subconscious mind is wired, you're still continuing to do the same things and cultivate the same relationships or the same energy within past relationships. you have actually learned the lesson, but you're still living the pain because that's the way we're designed and wired in our head. So this is what I'm talking about when most people will do the heady stuff and all the life coaching and all the PD and the development up here, all the hypnosis and changing all the wiring up here. Other people will do it down here and do the meditations and cut the cords and sever the cords and let go and let the angels come in and take their stuff away. Not many people are going to do both. You guys are going to do both. It's going to be very powerful. So remember, the reason for soul contracts and these types of relationships with people, all the people around you, is for the lessons, to learn these lessons that you didn't learn in the past and you've come back to earth to learn. Just remember, we are slow learners, and even if you have learned it, possibly you're going back through it because we haven't changed the patterning in your brain yet. So this is going to free so many of you up for so much. Like I work a lot of with a lot of you in business, sacred business mastery, starting to run your own business. And you're running a business or cultivating a business on your soul purpose, what you're put here on this earth to do. And it's amazing. You're starting to monetize things. The stepping stones are being laid in front of you, and it's actually becoming quite easy beyond your wildest dreams. The things that stop us from getting there are these toxic relationships. Because if you're having more toxic relationships because of these soul contracts than the healthy ones, then naturally you're calling in clients that you may possibly even have these toxic relationships with. So we need to clear as many as we can. We need to be very precise and very focused, take inspired action and focused intention and move through this together. It's very powerful. So once we do this process, your business will flourish, your body will flourish, all different areas of your life will just seem to have it's like setting the butterflies free and giving yourself this permission to show up in the world exactly as you are. And it's very freeing. So how do they originate? Like, how does a soul contract originate? I touched on that earlier, and basically I believe it's from the past lifetime, and then you're coming forward and bringing it forward into this lifetime. Okay, so before we end, I want to help you identify any of the soul contracts in your life that are no longer serving you. So the key questions you're going to ask yourself are, number one, how do I feel when I think about this person? I'm guessing that most of you are going to have somebody in your head that you can take the processes through straight away. But I want you to ask these questions and go through the process with me. One, how do you feel when I think about this? How do I feel when I think about this person? Number two, how do I feel when I leave this person? So if you go out, if you're still on talking terms and you go out for a date or for a dinner or for a coffee and then you walk away, are you feeling inspired and activated and ready to take on the world, go home and do your vision boards, make the phone call, or do you just walk away and your shoulders are slumped and you're just like, oh my gosh, that was like the longest 2 hours of my life, I'm exhausted? That's a good telltale sign if this contract, if this connection, if this cord with these people, because we have them with absolutely everybody in our life. Some are just more paramount and more present than others. So you've got to ask yourself, how do I feel when I leave this person? Am I lit up? Is this a love and light energy cord and connection contract? Or is this, feeling dark and dingy and tired and just want to go home and sleep all afternoon? Question number three is, when I think about this person, my body feels. So you've got to tune into your body. And when you think about that person, maybe close your eyes. When I think about that person, notice where you feel it in your body. Wherever you feel it in your body is probably where the cord's attached. So when we do the meditation later on down the track, we've got to remember this for that person, because you're gonna sever it. Sometimes you might get a sore shoulder and you might find there's an energetic hook in the back of your shoulder, so we can go through and clear all that for you. So that question, when I think about this person, my body feels. Like, where do you feel it in your body? And question number four, the word that I would use to describe this person is. So if you had to pick one word to describe this person, what would it be? Loving, inspirational, motivational, excited, exciting, joyful? Or are you picking words like narcissist, guilty, shameful, embarrassing? Think about all those type of words. If you had to pick one word, what word would you use to describe this person? So the key question, because you've all got lots of relationships in your life, is we're going to go through all of your relationships. We're going to neutralize and dissolve the charge. We're going to break the contracts. We're going to sever the cords on anything that's not serving you yet. So what I want you to ask yourself is there people places, situations, addictions, things in your life now that you feel deeply connected to, that you can't sever, that you can't cut on your own? And if the answer is yes, which it is going to be for most of you, I'll see you over there in the next masterclass where we're going to go through the spreadsheet and through the meditation.